We are ready to go. All right, and Adele, beautiful. So, what is up? How are you feeling?
Chilling. Just did a totem before I hopped in your stream. Got 6 droplets, not 2 hours, so I'm feeling good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So, where are you training at?
Lazy training at CLP.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did level up again, so I'm 242 now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
other than that, nothing has changed in the pictures I sent you.
Okay. Cool. Ooh, we have a censored kinesis. Is that a not so street friendly name or?
Yeah. That's why I just shot it out there, so just in case.
Okay. Um,
Wasn't too fond of the class.
I see. Yeah, I've seen some names pass by in the recent years where people are like, seems like you're not a huge fan of this one.
Yep.
That's probably why you did you do like a burning on it later to make it level faster or?
No, I had that. I mean, I've been playing on and off since God knows when. I've been playing since I was like 15, 14, something like that. And the last time I played was, I think, like 2 years ago during the Adventure Coin event, something like that, maybe.
Oh, was it the yellow
Yeah.
coin with like the little sparkle on it?
I have no clue.
Well,
I
most
think it was
coins
a
are yellow.
bluish coin actually, but
Was that override
yeah,
coin?
no, it was the Adventure. It was literally Adventure
Oh,
Coin, I think.
yeah. Like grayish and blue.
Yeah, grayish and blue. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I was playing on the Arc.
Mm-hmm.
And got that to that choo-choo-ish, and then just stopped playing because wasn't a huge fan of bye-bye farming. So just pretty much just gave up. But now I'm back. Me and one other friend are playing. He's like 30k-ish, so he's a bit stronger than me, but trying to catch up.
Right. Let's see if we can help you surpass this guy. I just noticed that I ran out of water. I'm gonna grab water real quick.
Sure thing. Hi, chat.
All right. Okay. So, do you have any specific goal in mind other than just like crushing your friend's spirit and soul by surpassing him in damage?
Not really. That's about it. But I did have a few random questions that I can get to once you get to the area and the pictures. But other than that, I really just want to know like what to immediately work on right now. Like kind of like an order of progression, because I'm kind of entering the late game, I think, or have entered already into the late game with some of the criteria on that chart.
Yeah,
But,
so you're aware of the progression.
I do know that my flames need work. I haven't really touched anything in God knows how long for that. And I just hit 700 Galax coins, so I wanted to know what item I should get first.
Okay.
Probably belt, because I'm still using IMA's treasure. But just wanted to get a second opinion on that as well.
Yep.
You like that, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I know what I'm doing. Have pretty decent knowledge on MapleStory in general, so. And all of my Legion has been done in like the past 3 months, so.
So that means you don't want to do as much Legion right now?
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah.
I am gonna finish up those last 2 characters sometime in the near future, and then finish getting some 120s up to 140. Bang out the 6k, maybe get 6.5-ish in the near future, but we'll see where that takes me. And I also took the Arcane Ufbra on my Night Lord, make that a bossing mule sometime in the near future as well.
Okay. Yeah, they can probably benefit from that. With an okay flame, all of the boss damage and the crit and the... That's probably pretty useful. Okay. Yeah, and their 5th job is kind of strong, so...
Yeah,
should get
good
into
burst.
boss mule level pretty quickly, yeah.
And my friend's playing a Nightwalker, so I tried out his account for a little bit. And I preferred Night Lord playstyle, I guess, so that's what I decided on.
Yeah, they both throw stars, but they're still quite different in how they play.
Yeah, definitely very different.
Okay, you got the 2 Legions setups and everything. Yeah, you have any questions regarding Legion or like order or...
No, I got
stuff?
pretty much got a hand of Legion and links and whatnot, but I did change that mobbing setup. I took everything out of crit rate and just put it into like attack and strength, but other than that, I just had it in there when I was doing leveling up my links to make it easier, more damage and stuff, but...
Right. And how's your crit rate situation? Because Adele is not the best, but also not the worst, so...
So yeah, I do have 10 points into hyperstats. And I've been looking for the inner, haven't gotten it yet. Maybe like 2 million points in, something like that, I guess. Probably. But still no luck.
Wait, 2 million points in for crit rate?
For honor XP? Yeah, I haven't found it yet. I haven't really used many circulators either, though, so...
So wait, so how are you going about the inner ability?
Well, at first I was a little stupid with it. I spent probably like $1 bill in circulators, and then didn't find it, and then I stopped because I realized that was not a good idea. And then I've just been last honor event I used I think like 800k, 900k, the half off event, and I didn't find it. So
are you locking lines or are you?
I wasn't.
So just legendary tier and then...
Yeah, I just locked the legendary tier. I have heard that there's like a better way to find the crit by locking certain lines on top and bottom or whatever that is, but I haven't really looked into that.
Yeah, so that was something that they found in KMS, that there were ways to like rig it, and that's why basically the whole ball started rolling on that. Yeah, well, that's basically what kind of exposed the whole weighted RNG stuff that led to all of the compensation and all of the outrage in KMS and stuff. That's where that all came from, because people in test servers have like a lot of points just free, so they just started like experimenting with stuff, and then they just stumbled upon it basically. And then that led them to reevaluating a bunch of the RNG systems and finding out a whole bunch of weighted stuff. So so that's all been fixed and that's all been redeemed. That's why we got a lot of redemption points for that. So do you have like a lot of honor experience points that you can still redeem?
Or? Well, I mean, from what I've heard, they didn't give us the correct amount of honor, so...
Yeah, true. They still have to fix that, yeah. So if that's a lot... So the... Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that you were right. The bad news is you were right the first time when you thought you were wrong.
Okay.
So the best way basically going by the inner ability is because it has to do with the rarities on the rolls. So if you use a circulator and you hit a certain stat in a certain line, whatever rarity the line is, and then whatever the quality of the stat within the rarity, it's always the highest possible number through circulator. So that's why we want to use circulators to get the best possible lines on the unique, on a unique line, on the second or the third. They can both be unique at the same chance. And then once we have that, you want to roll your legendary and roll that during a 50% off to get your top line back, basically.
Oh, okay.
So, like in the long term, that's just like the cheaper way to go, even though it might mean that you have to like, oh, I'm going to throw 1 bill in circulators, I'm going to throw 5 bill in circulators, I'm going to throw 3 bill in circulators, and maybe not get it. So, it is something, if you want to min-max it, it's a very long process, and you might sit on like 2, 3, 4 million honor experience before you can even get the line that you want, or you don't even get it at all, and you just hold on to like 20% mesoptane the whole, and a little bit of drop the whole way through, basically.
Yeah, I haven't really decided on if I wanted to spend my money on that right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's super necessary. I see the oh, I just switch the setting. I see the interoperability more as a thing like min-maxing later on. I think if you have Mezzo and Drop on it, it's fine for leveling the whole way through. The only classes where I think it's pretty important is the classes that rely on attack speed +1. It's probably important to get your attack speed +1 on there. Just so you can get into the rhythm of how fast can you attack and all that stuff. And how can you move through the map with the max attack speed, etc. Versus these classes, you could just get a lot of utility out of Mezzo and Drop. And then, you know, if you feel like there's money for you to drop in circulators, you just try a bunch. If you don't get it, you just move on. You just set aside a budget, right? You're like, okay, I'll spend a bill. I don't get it. I'll move on and save for something else. But at the meantime, it's best to just save up your honor experience over a long period of time until you get it, so that as soon as you get it, you can switch into... so ideally, people wait until there's a 50% off, and then on the day of the 50% off, they spend like a few bill of money on circs. And then if you get it that day, then you can keep going and roll the honor experience as well. And if you don't get it, you just wait until the next event, basically.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it can be very expensive, or you can get really lucky. The spread is very, very wide, so just set aside a budget beforehand and then just stick to that. But yeah, with that being said, I don't think it's a super high priority to really focus super hard on that. You can just get lucky with a free circulator or something. Just regular circulators, you can always just throw towards this guy, and then because with the regular circulator, you can always choose the previous interoperability anyway, right? So yeah, if you don't get what you like, you can just save your Mezzo obtain and item drop rate anyway.
Okay.
So there's pretty low risk. Did you get a lot of coins back from having used circulators, or not that much?
Not that much. I think I got like 1.5 bill. Like, I think it's average from what other people have been getting, I guess. But
yeah, it's like a little bit under 100, I guess. 100 circulators used.
I didn't play too much the last time I was playing. Probably about like 3 months-ish, 4 months-ish maybe. But I have a better knowledge of the game now, so I guess I've progressed more. Yeah, this is, even including, I guess, private servers, this is as far in the game as I've ever gotten. So, feeling good about that.
Good. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about interoperability. Just like save up honor experience. Yeah, maybe do dojo. You're aware of you can buy the honor experience there.
I haven't really touched dojo at all though.
If you're doing a lot of training and you might be short on coupons, the dojo shop also has experience coupons. So if you ever find yourself running out of those, that could be an extra.
I have 31 Sunday boxes in my inventory. I'm okay for now.
Okay for now, yeah. Yeah, it just sucks if a lot of those are like 1.5x coupons.
Yeah, I just opened 4 more and they're all 1.5x.
Yeah, so. I mean it's better than nothing, but yeah, if you prefer to like full cover on the 2x's if you can.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do want to get to 245 ASAP to get some familiars in, but at the same time, and I'm really in no rush right now. I've unlocked all my symbols, so kind of okay with where I'm at right now.
And 1,000 symbols helped you get to 12 on all of those. Yeah,
hell yeah. That was a really good boost for me.
For sure.
And then I get to upgrade the top row today also after reset, so it'll feel good.
Yes, yeah, I just leveled up 4 symbols yesterday on my Adele as well. Always feels good to just let her rip.
I also get my fat MapleStory payout today too with those free coupons also.
Nice.
So 1.1 bill coming in my way. I think I'll have 10 bill saved up after that, so
that's looking pretty good.
Chunk of change to spend on with whatever you tell me, sir.
Yes, and nothing else. Don't you dare.
Nothing else, exactly.
Don't you dare splurge. That was a joke chat, okay? It was people at home, or we're kidding here.
I also don't have many flames from the compensation either. I think I had, like, for red flames, I can get maybe like 60 or 70 total. So I was kind of just waiting on them to turn it back on before I spend mesos on flaming also, but I don't know.
Are you a little bit further from your mic, by the way? Because you sound a little bit more quiet than in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, let me bring it a little closer. I was taking a sip of coffee, so I moved away.
I see. Yeah, that's a bit better.
Okay.
So we don't really need to get into Legion at all. That's all clear. Matrix-wise, I think you have it all pretty much figured out.
Yeah. Do I want to put more, level up my holy symbol more, you think, or just work on my fifth job skills? I also finished maxing out my boost nodes, so those are all
Yeah.
25 now.
Nice. Yeah.
And then yeah.
Hmm.
Because I was thinking about just getting it to, I don't know what the threshold is. I think it's like level 18 or something for like 30% XP, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I ended up leveling mine first on the Adele, but that's just because I'm like, oh, I'll just throw like 400 nodes on there and level stuff a little
Yeah.
bit.
With your billion nodes in your storage, I
Yeah,
think
I could
that's
be a
okay for
little bit
you,
more
but
free with that. Yeah. Well, let's answer that question with a question. Like, how are you doing mobbing wise? Are you clearing fine? How are you doing bossing wise? Like, what are you able to do? And
so actually yesterday I just soloed Lomian, so that
mm-hmm.
was good. I did take 2 tries on Damien, but that's just because I was playing like an ape
Mm-hmm.
and running into delayed hitboxes.
Nice.
Typical Damien stuff, but
Maybe in
other
like
than that,
5 months those will be gone, but
yeah. Other than that, I think I'm pretty comfortable with those two now. I think I'm gonna be in a Lotus party either this today or next week, with my guild. So we'll see how that goes. Or I mean, Lucid
Lucid
party.
Party? Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mix them up all the time. No worries.
Yeah. Too similar of names. But yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I've never actually done Lucid before, so
Mm-hmm.
I have watched some videos. I've familiarized myself with mechanics, but I haven't done a practice run or anything. So I'll
Yeah,
have to
the up
just
jumping over the dragons and
yeah,
stuff with the
up jump
floating.
hover, iframe on the way down. I've seen all the tricks and whatnot. I just have to like put it into practice
Yeah,
now.
it's always a little bit different in practice because the video looks very simple. You're like, oh, you just do this, then this.
Oh
And,
yeah, you
oh,
just do
cool.
that. I can do that easy.
And then in the
My
video,
hands
like,
work that way, but we'll
it,
see how it goes when
and
I
then
see the dragon in my
a
face.
golem like spawns right underneath you as you're in the air
Oh
and you're
yeah.
still in the hitbox and you just still die anyway. You're like, oh, or you're like on the side. You're like, oh, we got to the side, and then everyone gets teleported in and still die.
Yep, that'll be fun. But
Yeah. Well, the idea is that you take the risk away from like anything that has like 60% or less like risk of dying, that you can reduce that to a 0, and that everything above a 60%, that if you die there, that it's not too bad because you have the buffer, right? That's the idea. But yeah, enjoy that other guard while you still can.
oh yeah,
It's gonna
got a couple more months of that.
yeah, it's gonna change a little bit, so choose it.
Also, am I gonna be changing what I'm using for hyper passives as well? Am I going to be using the true nobility? That's going to be getting a damage bonus now, right? I think.
The true noble. Oh, the shield. You mean the green
The
shield?
shield, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be, I guess, the Aether Bloom cooldown. I'm going to replace it with that.
Well.
Or Reign of Destruction duration.
Because wait, what is the hyper? Is it the hyper that makes it last longer, or?
For Reign of Destruction, it makes it.
No, I
4
mean
seconds.
for the green one. Like, why would you want to go into that one?
Because I think in Neopatch I was reading that it gives you a damage boost, percent damage boost now after Neopatch. So I don't know if that would be better for bossing than like 4 extra seconds of Reign of Destruction, or not.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the length. There's only one true nobility shield, right? Hyper, right?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Increase the shield amount created in proportion to damage. But it's in proportion to damage received, right?
No, I'm talking about when Neopatch hits.
Yeah.
I think they're changing it to like a 20% damage buff. I think I was reading.
I think it was 15%.
While it's active.
But yeah,
Or 15, yeah. So I was wondering if I would opt to use that instead of like the Reign of Destruction duration increase.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the hypers now just to see what the hyper even does for true nobility. And it seems to increase the shield amount created in proportion to damage.
Okay.
So that seems to me that if you take more damage, the shield gets bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Which doesn't seem like that would give you more benefit than the Reign of Destruction.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's related to the incoming damage, so your incoming damage isn't going to change with it.
I see. Okay.
And range of destruction, I think range of destruction is pretty good. The duration increase because the monsters tend to be bound for a while, so then you can just range of destruction the whole time, and you have range of destruction boosted, right? There's no real damage booster on Tunability Shield. If it was like a DOT shield or something, if the boss would stand in your shield or something, then you could be talking about that. But I don't think this is going to be worth switching into. No.
Okay. Good to know.
The hyper is getting. You mean is this part getting nerfed, JHK? Because this seems like a lot. Wait, the nobility hyper is also changing? Oh, hang on. Oh my god, is there another one? Ugh. Dude, there's another director's note. Oh,
more discussion board stuff.
Yeah, apparently.
Hey, at least they're trying. It's definitely an improvement.
Oh, the damage is the hyper. Oh, I'm completely misunderstanding. Yeah. I thought it was becoming like a...
The ability...
Oh, I see. Yeah, no. That doesn't... Right now it's OP. Well, I guess in certain situations, because it gives you a huge shield, right? Yeah. Because I don't have it. Yeah.
What JHK is saying in chat is that no one's using it in KMS anyway, so...
I guess you already have like enough stuff that you need to be prepping.
Oh. Yeah. And I guess it is a utility skill in and of itself, so I guess I don't want to be using that just to get some extra burst damage either.
Right now with nobility and the hyper stats on. Wait, hyper stats? Hyper skills? Yeah, hyper skill. I mean, yeah. Tank Dragon Breath like it's nothing. You generate more shield than the damage you take. That's kind of busted, yeah. That should probably... Okay, yeah, so they wanted to make that a bit more challenging. Yeah, maybe you could still use it for like a few months, but then if you rely on it and they take it away, then...
Yeah, I also don't want to do that. Then,
yeah.
I'm already trying not to rely on Aether Guard and just trying to actually time it instead of just using damage reduction, but... Been getting pretty used to that.
Yeah, the floating over on the Demon Avenger was fun as well to learn that.
Oh yeah.
Well, you kind of have to.
But yeah, I guess I'll just kind of feel it out. But
yep.
Like you said, it doesn't really seem necessary to have just the 15% damage buff extra added to all the buttons that I have to press anyway during a bind.
Yeah, apparently in KMS no one is using it, and I think in GMS, especially since we're reboot and we already have so much more percentage damage, probably seems
a little overkill, right?
Yeah, seems a little unnecessary overkill. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess is this so for the Matrix? Is this your setup for mobbing or bossing, or do you just kind of like use the same, or?
So this is mobbing, I guess. I mean, I don't really have anything else to throw in for mobbing that'll really benefit me, so I just keep all my skills on. Like, I guess I don't really need creation. I mean, legacy restoration or storm to really clear at CLP, but I just throw it into the rotation. I pop storm while I'm looting, so stuff still dies. And vice versa with ruin. So for Damien, I do take off HS, and then I put on the extra bind in case I whiff my bind. But other than that, I don't really use anything else that I've leveled down there.
Yeah, because
I did make a character building yesterday that I swapped out for Weapon Aura, but yeah, I wasn't really using Weapon Aura for mobbing anyway, so. Yeah, because I'm thinking Weapon Aura and Decent Combat Orders are nice, but they seem
to be more the min-maxy stuff that you put in even later. If you're mobbing for like the passive clear while you're looting and that stuff, you could also include the true reflection there. Especially in CLP, you just like pop it in the middle and then you just get a little bit more clear while you're moving around.
Okay.
Or you pop it to like one side where you maybe kill a little bit less. And the other thing that's I think more effective for burst for bossing for sure would be to get your goddess blessing in there.
Okay.
It's pretty strong.
So when I'm hovering that, is that the flora? Is that the value it says at the bottom? It says attack power and magic power plus 25. Is that what I'm getting plus 25?
Let me get the.
Because that was never really clear for me.
Fuck. Hang on. Let me get the exact wording for you. Oh wait, I have it on my arc as well. Do Arc and Adele get the exact same, or is there?
I think it is, yeah, because it's split between Nova, Flora, and Anima.
Yeah, so we should be getting.
And we're both Flora, I think.
Yeah, should be, yeah.
Oh yeah, so yours says plus 100. Okay, so that is the actual value that we're getting then.
Yeah, so it is. So it's 100% of your equipment's attack power. Excluding your weapon, you get 100% of all your equip's attack power.
Well, it'd be magic attack because it's the one that we don't use.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And does not apply to set effects, and the converted bonus cannot exceed 150% of your weapon's base attack. So it's mostly once you're past like 17 star and everything, right? Because if you're under that, you're probably not going to reach it.
Yeah, I don't really have much extra magic attack on my gear right now.
Yeah. So if you have it maxed, it's basically your weapon's base attack times 1.5 plus 100.
Okay.
Is like when you're maxing it out. So for actually your blade caster is pretty high, right? If you get the well, you didn't get the figure counter. You have the Abzo. What is the Abzo
at? Base is 205.
205. Yeah. So you're looking at like 410 attack boosts. Doing that for 40 seconds.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that high yet right now, of course, so it needs to get leveled, but like in conjunction with all the other burst, like you pop that, you throw up a ruin, the 8-blade duder, and then
18-blade duder.
Yeah, that other guy, and then you have your summons plus bloom, and then if you have if you ever get, because I've noticed that a few times happening now, if you have the chance to skip cooldown, sometimes you can bloom twice in a row. That's pretty big.
I did have that like right when I got to legendary, but I just rolled into Meso, and I just want more Meso.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like your one character, yeah. For me, I can be a little bit less stringent on my invulnerability. I can just I mean, now I do, and I have both. I have Meso and I have skip cooldown on the second line for 10%, which is still. It doesn't happen that much, but a lot of times I'll put like Rain of Destruction down, and then it'll just auto-refresh, so whenever it disappears, I can immediately refresh it, so there's like no cooldown, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, that's pretty rare. 10% is 10% is like rare enough where it's welcome when it happens. If you have 20%, you're expecting it too much, and then it just gets disappointing when it doesn't.
Yeah, I can definitely get that.
Yeah.
And I guess most of the time I'm not really using Bloom unless I have Noble Summons also to bring it all together, so...
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly why you don't want to mess with the other Bloom hyper either, right? Because that's the only way you can slightly synchronize them, otherwise...
Synchronize them, yeah.
You have, like, way more summons. At least when you're mobbing, you're probably too strong to need to use both, so you probably just alternate, right?
Yeah, I do. That's exactly what I do. I'm like, every time mobs spawn, I'm using a certain large map attack ability, and they all just disappear, so...
Yep. Sounds like a perfect lazy training
oh yeah, it's super easy. I throw on a show, I'm barely looking at my screen.
Nice.
And 2 hours go like that, so it's definitely better than bye-bye farming was like a year and a half, 2 years back, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I never did that. It's not something I need a little bit more like engagement with what I'm doing, and I think also if you're like
that's
making
what put me off from even playing MapleStory in general.
Yeah, I just find different stuff to do that is more fun for me. And I think also, well, the main thing is I try to make content for the stream. So if it's just me endlessly in a map, just
Project CRA seems to be going well.
Yeah, it's
final stages of that bad boy.
We're at Xenon now, so we're eating. We started off with a pretty heavy start, but Xenon
Phantom was pretty good. I like
that was surprisingly strong, yeah. And Hoyoung was like I was expecting it to be strong, but not knowing exactly how strong it would be. But like that was still surprising because I was being carefully optimistic with that. But with Phantom, I was kind of like preparing.
Like a fun class though. While I was doing the link skill, actually, I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about how bossing would be, but mobbing was definitely a blast for me. I didn't mind doing that one at all.
There's a lot of stuff that you can use for bossing. You mainly rely on that one hyper skill that like resets all your points. And you rely on that one to set up like all your big burst stuff, then like bind them. And then you use that 5th job skill, the one with the giants. When you activate it, there's like 30 seconds of sometimes the gods like coming in and just punching the dude and for an extra hit. So you leave that up for like 30 seconds until and when that almost is over, then you press the button again, and then you get the big iframe and the skill and the map effect, right, and the big damage. And then once that happens,
like 3 iframes, right? Something like
he's got 2, but the one has a really short cooldown and it has like a flexible length, so you can. If you just tap it once to immune a skill, then you have like 14 or 15 second cooldown now. It used to be like 8 or something, which was ridiculous.
Jeez.
So they had that increased a bit because that was a bit silly.
More broken than 8 card.
Yeah, way more broken, yeah. And if you hold it the whole duration, I think you can hold it for like 20 seconds, but then you have pretty long cooldown, so you want to use it as short as necessary.
How are you? When are you ever gonna need to iframe for 20 seconds?
I don't know. Well, if you want to set up all your bursts in peace, then you might need those 20 seconds.
Yeah, I guess.
But you can't do that because you're like stuck in the iframe. So that's also the downside, right? You lose a lot of DPS as well. So you want to, there's some min-maxing there for sure, yeah. But then, and then the big smash is the other one. But you do have the flight, of course, which can get you out of a lot of situations, and you do have an automatic activated dark sight that you can use as well. So
yeah.
Use it as a panic button in Will. Yeah, exactly.
There's also one question I wanted to ask about what I'm gonna be doing with droplets.
Yeah.
Since I'm gonna be hitting diminishing returns sometime in the near future for Arcana. What should I do about arcane droplets, really? Or what do you suggest I do?
Yeah, so part of this is going to be in, I will get into like your equips with the drop rate and stuff, because that's going to be, I don't know what set you have there. So it's like familiar.
That's my only set, really.
Okay.
I don't have any other damage accessories, really. I have 1 ring, and that's about it.
We'd have a unique Papulatus. How did you manage that?
Just luck, I guess, yeah. I just got it.
Wait, how did you get it?
2% crit damage. I got it from Pap.
Wait, it dropped as unique?
Yes.
Wait, what? I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, me either. And that was like my second CPAP run.
Holy shit. Yeah, too bad the lines on it are garbage. Damn, that's unfortunate.
I know. But I mean, it's got 2% crit damage. Just throw it in my mobbing setup. But, it's
yeah,
whatever.
I guess. Just wait. Just hope we get some red cards.
Yeah, eventually, sometime in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah. Damn, okay.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but who knows with Nexon? Maybe
they'll
fuck up again sometime, and they'll give us red cards as compensation or something.
Yeah, at some point there will be some. As long as you as long as you keep playing, there will be some fuck up in the future. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, and I'm super happy this one droid event's coming back too. I can get a heart. Then I just have to wait for Sengoku High or Dark Lords or Lab Locks or something else in the near future. Who knows?
Well, I wouldn't.
Well,
put any money on Sengoku High because that shit is out of the code. That map is like gone. You can't even teleport back to it.
Oh really?
So, yeah, they just removed it from the game.
Well, hopefully they invent some new potable badge then.
Yeah, maybe when KMS does, we can copy it. Yeah, something.
the classic copy paste code.
Exactly. Yeah, we seem to be more in line. So.
Yeah, like my damage skin was Korean for what, like a month.
Yeah, that was something. Okay, so droplets. So we have, so drop rate is 1, and then of course, but you're going to be training. So as soon as you move up to the next area, that's when your income shifts, which is not necessarily bad, but if you want to go full arcane, it's not ideal. So there are event shops coming up. If we get the same as Korea, like caveats here and there.
Yeah, so I got 100 incoming by the end of summer, I guess.
Yeah, so 150 of each is what we're expecting.
Oh, is it? Oh, because the Neo shop is going to have 2 sets, right?
Yeah, and the anniversary for last year from KMS also had a set of each. So we're looking at 3 sets of each, 2 through Mezzo and 1 through event currency. So like 150, which, so it could be a good idea to try to reach like a total of like, what is it, 216? Is it 108, 52? I'm thinking of 108. Is that how many you need for a normal equip?
I couldn't tell you, I'm sorry.
It's 9 times 12? Yeah, 108, yeah. For any one equip. So if there's 150 coming, and you want 216, so if you get like 23 more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at 58 right now.
Oh, you're already on there. Okay, you're already pretty far, yeah.
Been doing like trying to finish up my totems for the month. I have 6 more left, but that'll happen eventually.
Yeah, the dream would be like if you can get enough droplets and then including the shops and everything for 2, you get 1 as a drop. That'll be like, so you keep the droplets until you get 1 drop and you just buy the other 2. And then you get the weapon on the shoulder. Hopefully the weapon is a drop, but because that one's pretty expensive. But that one also has the best chance because it drops from both of the bosses, of course, if you're running them. And if you go further, like Varusilla will have share the drop table as well, so that if you can get to that, that'll be a 3rd one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been planning in my head to have an Apso weapon for a long time.
Yeah, okay,
so it's not really a bother for me. I'm definitely not going to be using the coins, I think. I mean, the droplets, I think, to make one. So I'll probably just bank on getting a drop. But I mean,
yeah, or you go shoulder end, because once you get 240, if you do move out, then all the levels beyond that will all be dropping those other stone droplets. And as long as as long as you're going for higher levels, you will get enough. Plus, you add in the ones that you can buy from the event. I mean, if you buy out all 150 there as well, that could immediately be like a shoulder, or if you get whatever drop you get and then make the other one. But if you need to make both, that's still not insurmountable with how many hours you're putting in, because I think you're making very good gains and solid ground there. So
I've been playing. I started playing again since January, so this is like what, 3 full months of progress now. And I think this is a pretty good spot where I'm at for 3 months.
That seems like it for sure.
Yeah. COVID has been, I guess, treating my Maple gains well.
Yeah. One loss is another gain, I guess. Yeah, just balances out.
So I guess I just farm maybe. I think now I need like 12 or 4, something like that, droplets more, which I'll probably get before I hit 247 anyway. So
216. So you want to have like 66 of them.
Yeah.
If we get the 3 shops, so you're pretty close to that already.
Yeah, so I need 8 more. Yeah, I'll get that within like 3 totems, 4 at most.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, today was like an anomaly. I got.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do
5 or 6 within this one totem.
You don't want to extrapolate that to like, oh, that's the standard number to get. Yeah,
no, for sure. I had 1 droplet yesterday in my whole totem. So.
Yeah, exactly. So now you're looking at 7.
Out
so
for me.
yeah, it evened out. Yeah. Yeah, because and with that in mind, of course, we don't want to go too hard on all things Abzo in your account, which does mean that you want to go a bit harder on the other stuff. When it comes to drop rate and everything, you have a item drop rate on a familiar, and then your equip set. What is that looking like?
So that is, I have 100% Mace Toe, and then Yeah, 80% drop.
Okay, so you just have like 9 all with one line.
I didn't really want to put more money into consolidating as of right now.
Yeah, no, it's more something you do if you like luck into rolling a double line on something.
Yeah,
you know.
didn't want to really put black cubes into that either.
Yeah, no,
So.
no. I think all of my double line accessories just came from trying to roll all of my accessories to one line of drop or mezzo plus a line of strength, and then ending up with like a double line somewhere, and then just and then starting just build around that. Yeah. Obviously, that becomes like a centerpiece of of your set. Because you don't really
you
roll
work
into
around
that.
whattever 2 lines you get there. But,
exactly.
I mean, it's a good problem to have.
For sure, for sure. For both, right? Because we're also looking into the future. So, and that's one thing we can do because of KMS. We know the new areas that are coming. Those areas are going to be super hard to kill things. So a lot of people are looking for not for drop lines anymore, because I don't think nodes are a thing there, and symbols aren't, and droplets aren't. So people are looking for like double mezzo, hopefully with a line of stat, but that's like wishful thinking. But like to consolidate their all of their mezzo obtained to just 3 items, so 2 with double and 1 with single mezzo, and then everything else be like full damage, so that you can still maintain your kill speed, because it's gonna be rough to kill there. But this is like for people.
Also, God knows when down the road for me. I don't
know
how long
exactly,
it'll take me to get 275, which I do want to do eventually. I don't think I'll stop playing this game. And I mean, I might play. I don't know if you've heard Ashes of Creation, some new MMO.
I've heard of that like 3 years ago for the first time, so I'm totally not sure.
I've been keeping up with the development process. I mean, I think that's like a year or 2 from release anyway, but it does look promising.
Do you like build the towns yourself based on who controls an area or something?
Yes, there's like a governing system. Like there's different types of towns. One you vote on. One it's like a monetary. Whoever has more money can be the mayor, quote unquote mayor. There's another one where you like fight to the death, but it's like the world builds on itself when you like level up your town to the next stage of like civilization, I guess. Like it's like a node system. There's like different nodes that unlock near the town, and you get new quests, new dungeons, new raids, bosses, and stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember from seeing the thing that it very much hinges on there being a sizable active player base. And the problem that I think I see is that as soon as it starts like diminishing a little bit, it'll like completely dry up unless they have some kind of failsafe for that. It's kind of like with content in Maple, like Romeo and Juliet BQ used to be like the thing to do to level up, so everyone went there to level up. And then as soon as people were like, oh, if I'm grinding, I'm actually getting better rates, and then people start grinding. As soon as fewer people show up and it takes longer to get a party, even if the rates are maybe still better for some people, if it takes too long to find a party, that hurts your rates as well. And then you're like, I'll just go grind instead. Yeah, and then maybe the party quest is like better for some people now, but nobody just goes there because it's impossible to find a party there, and then content just completely dries up. And I think when your whole game hinges around that, I hope they have some kind of fail safes and some kind of backups.
I do
too. Because it would be a shame if it would be a game like, oh, it's all the hype, it's a new MMO, like, and then all the MMO people come out of the woodwork like, oh, new MMO, like, and everyone tries it, and then if they like crawl back to the old MMOs because everyone's like very prone to sunk cost in their old shit, of course, and nobody wants to leave all their stuff behind, unless the new game gives them like an adequate replacement for all of that, which is, it's hard to replace something you've been playing for 14 years, even if it's borderline abusive spousal relationship you have to it. And then it would be a shame if people start trickling out of it again, and then that causes just the game to not function anymore, because then even the people who want to play it and who love the concept can't appreciate it fully because of the because of the
not enough people to make the world work.
Yeah, so I hope they have some kind of way of, I don't know, like giving people multiple, like making one person count for 2 as long as they hit certain benchmarks or something, so that you can just like I don't know.
That's something I gotta see what they do about. I mean, like I said, I think they're like still 2 years out of release date, or tentative release date from what they said. But
is it like alpha, beta? Like, what are they?
I think their non-NDA alpha is starting soonish, like a month or 2, so we'll get some footage out of that. But other than that, I haven't really heard much about like a roadmap or anything.
They're in pre-alpha. Okay, so soon. Oh, so what? No, it would be invite only alpha probably.
Yeah, or donate only alpha.
Oh yeah, buy in alpha, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy in to test our game, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it is being developed by like a rich dude, not like a company. So I mean, who knows?
Oh, it's like one rich dude
the...
is like, I want to make a new MMO.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like an MMO lover. He's been playing since he was young, so you know, he's like, I'm sick of all these trash can companies.
Yeah, and then he finds out how fucking hard it is to make a game and to maintain it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, we'll like I said, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna be too optimistic about it. It is a current day MMO after all, so.
It seems like a very ambitious project, so I hope it works out.
Yeah, I mean, ambitious is saying lightly, I think, with all the things that they want to do with their game, but you know, we'll see where they take it.
Oh, when someone said one of the co-founders of ArcAge. I think that one looked kind of promising too. I never played it, but it seems like it had some good elements. Okay, he didn't like the direction of the game, so he wanted to make something more pure and true to his his MMO dream. I see. Yeah. So with that in mind, for droplets, we translate that into like how far do we go with the other stuff, right? With the why is this song so fucking loud? With the Abzo and stuff, and I would say for most people, I'm not saying like stop at 16 or 17. Ideally, I think you can get your Abzo to 18. It's very low chance to boom up to 18. And it is significant.
I can replace it pretty easily anyway.
Yeah, and it's a significant enough upgrade so that it can make you not so that it can make you carry your weight if you're doing like hard loosen and hard will. And it takes a little bit of the strain away of the other accessories, because otherwise all the other accessories would have to be like 21 or like 20, 21 or like at least like 21 basically, which can be pretty straining. So if you go a little bit higher into Abzo on the pretty low risk, that takes a little bit of strain off the accessories and the other stuff basically.
Yeah, so I mean, I tapped all these to 16 in the last 5, 10, 15, so I'm kind of just waiting for another one to get him to 17 because I ran out of Mesos back then. So
yeah, for sure. Oh no, well, that's a good amount of gains to make and a good place to stop for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And then next Sunday, I'm gonna whatever Golux item I decide to get, and hopefully I'll be able to get my heart as well, save some money on that. I think the heart's only 15 star though, right?
Yeah, it goes with the 15. Yeah, so as long as you get it to like 11 or 12, it doesn't really matter if you get it beyond that. It's very minimal gains. Yeah.
So I guess the superior item is what I'll be spending some money on in that 30%.
Yeah. So what have you gotten superior wise so far?
I don't have anything. I have 700 coins and I'm.
And no drops.
Waiting.
Just waiting.
No drops yet. Nothing.
Well, the earring and the belt are supposed to be able to drop. Just as.
So from what I've seen on like very early on when I was just doing like carry runs, I have seen earrings drop, and that's it. Just superior earrings. Yeah. Oh no, and a belt. So I've never seen. Can a ring even drop?
No, so it's only the earring and the belt that can drop. So the ones that you buy is either ring or pendant. Okay.
So do you think, because right now you've seen the belt that I'm using. It's the IMA's treasure. Do you think? Yeah. It should warrant me upgrading that first by buying a belt, or just hopefully waiting for a drop?
Yeah, so it's better to wait for drop, yeah, because
the belt, right?
Yeah, if you have let's say you buy the other two and then you still don't get a drop by the time you have enough money to buy a third item, then you can go for that. But you always want to prioritize, because the main thing you're after is the set bonus, and of course the base stats for the belt are way better, but the main thing is the set bonus. The other thing you can do
one item's just not gonna make or break my decision, I guess, right?
No, even though the belt is a pretty big upgrade because the base stats are crazy, it does still mean that if you end up getting the drop afterwards, it kind of puts you in an awkward position, and then you would have been 2 out of 4 instead of now being 1 out of 4 twice. It's kind of different with Arcane, because you have, if you want to go crazy, you want to go past 17. If you buy an Arcane and you get the drop, it's kind of not as bad, because it just means that you get the chance to try past 17, and if it blows up, you can just go back.
True, yeah. instantly restore it. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the belt, since it's 4 pieces for that crazy set, the problem there, you don't have anything to fall back on there. Whereas with Arcane, you can fall back on the same Arcane or even on Abzo, which is not like terrible. But with this, if you fall back from, you get used to Superior and then you have to fall back on the Ayame, it's like, ugh. Right? Because you're like literally just immediately losing like 30 weapon attack, which is pretty big. The one thing you can definitely focus on in the meantime is work, and because like I said, right, we're not going too hard on Abzo. The main thing is going to be going harder on accessories and prepping those with high star force so that when you do get the drop, you can immediately like transfer hammer into a large amount. So initially, you probably keep like reinforced earrings and then reinforced belts, probably, or what have you kept in terms of lower level items?
I have 2 earrings and 1 belt.
Mm-hmm. So there's not that many belts. So what you can do is you can pre-star first reinforced belts because those also have like okay stats, so that'll already give you like a little bit of a buff, and then once the superior comes, you just transfer it over. Or what you can do is just save up pink bean belts. Those are a little bit easier and a little bit more reliable to build up, right? Because you could do normal every day. Has like an okay drop rate.
I have 2 of those also.
Mm-hmm. So with like a 30% off, it'd be a good idea to at least get one of those earrings and like a belt already to 15, and then just wait on them there, and then just build up more and more backups. So people who get their drops early, they can get to their set bonus faster, and they can, but they usually go into like 17 star and then maybe get like, like 21% stat, and then they stay on that for a while. So the fact that you don't have that now is a negative also, but you can turn it into a positive by making it and going way higher into the star force of your fodder gear first, so that when you get a drop, you can immediately go for the high one. Because someone who transfers early has to like redo it later and then redo the potential. If you make that move in one go, then you can save money in the long run by the benefit of getting unlucky with the drops. So you can kind of like remedy the negatives that way.
I see.
So that will depend on how lucky you get, when the next 5, 10, 15 is, what you're going hard on, that kind of stuff, and how much money you have to play with at that point. But that can allow you, and then specifically with the earring and the belt, because it's moderately easy to get backups for that. Because with an item like that, you don't want to have to like transfer hammer over it in like at 50 or like at 16 to 15, and then some people transfer back at like at 20 or at 21, and then maybe still try for 22 later. Like if you just go for like 21, transfer it to 20, and then just keep that
for a while. Then,
you can sit on that for a long time, and then you can focus on all the other stuff. And it also gives you a little bit of time to like build up the narrows in the meantime, so that once you go like hard on the other accessories, then you have a bunch of the narrow backups, and then you have those to pile into. So you can kind of manage the things that are most time gated, like coins for Golics, upgrade events, the narrows here, and then of course like droplets on the other side. And you can kind of see like, okay, what is the income I'm getting from these, and how can I synchronize it so that once the next event roughly comes up, then I'll have enough of backups for these, and then I can focus on these items, and then focus on these items. And if you don't have anything that you can focus on yet, then there's always CRA, because CRA weekly is very simple. You have a lot of backups for those, so those are always easy go-to items that you can like throw money at. And I would just go like 1 star at a time on each, and then move on to the next one, just like 17 all, 18 all, 19 all, like that, and just slowly work those up as well. Because even when you switch over to Arcana, CRA is still a tried and true, trusty backbone of your damage, basically.
Yeah.
And that's going to stay there the whole time. Now, and that's why I'm pretty okay with kind of ignoring flaming, because there's just so much to work on, and you're so focused on events, and getting huge gains from Starforce events is pretty much the main thing to do in late game and end game. Is just working around 5, 10, 15s. Like you can use 30% offs to prep, but then once you're at like late game, you're mainly just waiting for those 5, 10, 15s to go super hard. And
yeah, so I guess I'll just try and get this pink bean belt to like 15 for now.
Yeah, just the 30% off is next weekend, I think.
Next Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so just get some stuff that you're going to be, trying to fodder and trying to get super high, at least start. And then you could, and then during a 5, 10, 15, you could like add it into the rotation with the CRA stuff, for example.
Gotcha.
So you could be like, oh, I'm trying to get everything to 18, and then if a belt blows up, you just make a new belt. But always look at how much money you have left, right? If you have like one bill left, you start like, taking your, lowering the chances that you're taking. But yeah, in like total outcomes, that'll always get you further, right? Because some people are like, I want to just push one item into 22. If you make it, it's like really, really cool. But odds are that you won't, and then it's better to be stuck with, you know, 2 19-star pieces of CRA and 1 17 than to be stuck with 3 7 or like 2 17s and 1 14 or something, right?
Yeah, that boomed and I have to remake it.
And have spent the same amount of money, and then one person is happy and they had the same amount of luck as someone else, because the other person will feel unlucky, but they just took on more risk, but they were the same level of lucky, if that makes sense. So sometimes if you have average luck, your average luck depends on how much risk you take on. So if both people are if both people take on very different levels of luck, but they're both average lucky, one person will have more gains than the other. So you want to make sure that you spread those, you know, that you err on the side of like what is the luckiest. And for some situations that might make it so that you have to do dailies for a longer period of time, which is not something that everyone has like the time and the patience for. But the people who do end up like floating to the top eventually, except for those, you know, 3 people who just can't seem to get unlucky ever, who just like everything they do just turns into gold. And but yeah, you probably know 1 or 2 of those people. So there's a few of those in my chat, and those people just they just don't know how
diamond hands.
They fucking Midas touch. They just don't know how life really be. Okay, Proxo, I'm talking about you. They just open like 3 familiars, and 2 of them have boss damage, and 1 has, you know, fucking auto steal, and it's like, okay, well, I guess some people just never struggle.
So I guess general priority for tapping for Star Force would be CRA, then Golux, then Abso, I guess, because I'm gonna tentatively be replacing Abso in the near, not so near future.
Yeah, well, you want to work your way up to getting enough damage to be in Hard Lucid and Hard Will, somewhere in the next 10 levels, right? So, well, you're already going to work on Lucid, so then you want to slowly work your way up from there to Hard Lucid, right? Or is that not something you want to do?
No, yeah, I just my guild just told me I am today. After reset, I'm doing Lucid, so.
So I think first priority is like so 30% off. Just look at some fodder stuff and prep that all to 15, and maybe also do the things to 15 that you don't have at 15 yet, because 30% off is just a good time to do that. Don't know if you have like backup tattoos and monocles for like the actual damage set.
No, I don't have any. So pretty much all my accessories that I have is just drop gear accessories. I don't have any damage accessories yet. So I guess that's something to work on too.
Yeah, because if you're looking at going past 15, that's when the Sweetwater stuff really starts shining.
I have kind of been slacking on CPQ as of late, and I haven't done voyages in God knows when.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you, and there's too much stuff of this. I totally realize that. Like, there's a bunch of stuff where if you do a little bit of it every single day, then once you need it, it's all there, and you can just dip into it, and you don't have to, right? But also, of course, if you do a little bit every single day, that all adds up over time, and then if you get lucky or you end up not needing it, then you've wasted a lot of time in hindsight. So
yeah,
that's a balance that everyone kind of has to figure out for themselves. I'm more of the do a little bit every day kind of thing that just fits my playstyle more, and I'm very long-term oriented anyway, so I kind of play like that, but that doesn't work for everyone necessarily. So, but yeah, it's like with crafting stuff, right? If you haven't like picked up a bunch of stuff yet, and then it's like, oh, now I want to craft something, and the whole and you have no materials, it's like, ugh, like, yeah, it's really rough to start off with that. But if you did a little bit every day, you don't really feel like you're spending a lot of time on it, and it's like, oh, I want to craft something, oh, I'll just pick some resources, boom, I'll make it. And everyone else is like, well, how do you have all these things? It's like, well, I just harvested all the flowers I saw, and that's pretty much all I did.
I just made 20 wealth pots today, actually, so.
Yeah, as long as you do, yeah, a little bit like that.
Month.
And Daenerys is very much like that, and Gollux is very much like that, and there's a lot of things like that in the game, though. It's purposefully so that they can.
Essentially everything is like that, I guess.
Yeah.
The only thing you're not really holding on to is your symbols, but I'm still doing arcane dailies every day, so.
Yeah, they purposefully make it so, of course, because the main thing is if you, as a game, if you can make everyone play.
Oh yeah, it's just time sink. More people online looks better for them. I get that. It's just the MMO way nowadays.
Yeah, not just how it looks, but if you can get so if you have two players that play, let's say 7 hours a week, and one person plays like 3 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday, and the other person plays 1 hour every day, 1 hour every day, you would always want the second player over the first one, because if something comes up in a weekend, that player doesn't play it at all that week. But if something comes up on a weekend for the second player, they still play 5 hours that week. Someone who has like the habit of logging in and doing a little bit every day, it's easy to pile on a little bit and be like, hey, if you log in every day and you do this thing that just takes an extra 5 minutes, someone who plays an extra hour doesn't mind going an hour and 5 minutes every day. Like, that's fine. But someone who only plays on a weekend is not going to log on Monday through Friday to play 5 minutes extra on those days, because that's a huge inconvenience to them. So it's easier to cake on a little bit of extra playtime to someone who plays already every single day, because it doesn't seem like a lot to them. And that's how they get you, because then they keep piling on. Sometimes they give you free stuff where you're like, oh shit, I'm getting free experience coupons. I guess I'll train a little bit more. And then boom. Now you're in the habit of playing an hour and a half a day, and that's a normal amount of time, right? And before you know it, you're playing 5 hours a day, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
That's me right now.
I had so much more time left in my days. Where did that all go? It's like, well, that's what happens. They're like slowly trickling in. And a lot of it can be hidden as free stuff, or as compensation, or as, right? Because they're giving us triple experience coupons.
As a Pita-Pass, Battle Pass.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
6 Polo Fritos a day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did it on like the first or the second day, and they were like, what am I doing?
I'm still doing it. I want that title.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, there's the gold pot on the other side of the fucking rainbow, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And for some people it's enough, for some people it's not enough, but it depends on your situation. It depends on what you're willing to put up with. Sounds so negative, but
yeah, I guess, but
yeah, this is a barrier to entry.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that so when Gollux comes in and those accessories come in, that's when your boss accessory set like falls completely apart, right? And that's about the point where you want to have everything at 17, and then that once everything is like settled at 17, so there's a good chance that that's not even going to be the next 5, 10, 15 that you go like super hard, right? Because let's say you do get a drop before then, well, if you get your fodder to 16, transfer over, then you'll be one of those people with the 17 star, which is, ideally what does happen. You don't want to have to be the one who just, I'll just get the casual 21 star fodder equipped before I even see my first drop. Like, God forbid that's what happens. It's not what you want. But if that doesn't happen, then by the next time 5, 10, 15, you'll have way more money, right? Because your just static income is going to keep gradually increasing as you go up in level, as you go to higher level areas, as you play more, kill more bosses, etc. And then hopefully we will see being able to push past 17. So there's a very good chance that the next time you maybe get like a few 18 star, like maybe CRA goes to 18 and everything else goes to 17 or something, because all of those little things added up are still quite a lot of money. But it'll still be priority just getting everything to 17, so Abzos and CRA and the accessories that you maybe don't have yet, right? Everything that can go past 15 at 15 during 30% off, and then to 17 during 5, 10, 15.
Do you think it's worth to even push to 17 without 5, 10, 15 in my situation?
No, I wouldn't do that, no.
Just wait, right?
Just wait, yeah. It's half the cost. Between 15 and 17, it's half the cost during a 5, 10, 15. It's just... if you desperately need the 17 to be able to kill, for some classes I can see that, but I don't think Adele is ever in that position where you need to like speed up that progress to get there faster, because Adele is just so strong by itself, has such a great kit.
So say in the future I'm at 17 star, tapping past that, would 5, 10, 15 be better, or 30% be better?
5, 10, 15, because you're gonna go below, and you want to be able to go back up, and the 15 to 16 rate of booming and failing is just horrible. Okay. You'll see people just casually failing like 6, 7, 8 times in a row, 15 to 16. The amount of money you waste to get out of 15 to 16 hell every single time, because you're gonna drop back a bunch of times, is crazy. And the amount of booms that basically, the chance of booming that stacks up because of that, loses you so many items that you don't want to have to lose. Because even if it's items that are easy to replace, you don't want to have to replace them, because the worst part is getting from 12 to 15 again. During a 5, 10, 15, like you never want to be stuck having to do that. It's just hell. So, yeah. So it's basically like 5, 10, 15 all the way. So if you can save a bunch of money before the next one, you can maybe guarantee yourself a bunch of 18 stars. That would set you up to basically not have to worry about damage for quite a while, and then you can just do like big saving, big amount of backups, and then try to like 19, 20. Basically, as the risk of the item goes up, you just drop out of the star up race faster, basically. So if you have a bunch of backups, you keep going on it. As your backups go down, your money goes down. Risk assessment goes up. So then the items only with way more backups and that are cheaper, those will go forward. So like your end goal for like at 250 or 255 doing hard lucid hard will is going to be like 18 star Abzo, 21 CRA, and then all the other accessories like 18 or 19. It's probably where you want to be at, and then full set Gollux, and then just work
Face
on
and eye accessories, stuff
yeah.
like that.
Okay. And then around that time or just before that, hopefully you get like are you working on like Dominator transposing? Are you considering that?
Oh yeah, I mean I have a Dominator. I'm throwing all the flames I get from bosses on that. Still no luck, but work in progress.
How high are you aiming for that one?
I'm hoping for like 70 and 5 at least. I mean, ideally I'd want it to be better than that, but
I think that's already pretty high, but I think that would be like upper end. A little bit lower than that would still be worth, because equips are going to be switching and everything, but you still have like gains to make on flames on your equips themselves as well.
Yeah.
Which you don't want to underestimate either. But yeah, those will mainly come in once you go to Arcane, and you might be already on the way there. So yeah, I kind of get that. Are you familiar with like flame score and calculating that?
Yep. I use the calculator and stuff.
Yeah. So if you say 70 and 5, that's like roughly a 115, right? That would be like the ideal flame.
Score.
Yeah. So a little bit lower. If you hit like a 62 and 5 or something, I think that would still be pretty good.
Okay.
But that would be like closer to the lower bound. So like anything you can get between that, or like 62 and 6 would be like equivalent to 70 and 5. Or you hit like a 70 and 4 with like a little bit of attack or something, like anything combined gets you up there. Yeah. Okay. Star Force off event means no rigged rates though. True, very true. Yeah. Does that set most of the upgrades in order a little bit on where to go? Because after that, it'll just be like save literally everything and then make your arcane stuff and go super ham on the flames there. Mainly on the weapon when you get it, if you get it from a drop, or when you make it.
Yeah, so I guess now just work on star forcing, and then once I'm like at around like 18 Abso and like 21 CRA, I would reflame, or should I reflame sometime in between there, or?
I would just so when you have the Dominator at the number where you are wanting to transpose, then you basically just look for what is the next item with the highest increase in gains. Depending on, if we're talking about you're already like past the summer and you have the droplets already on you to make like 3 equips, and maybe you're working towards the 4th one, and so you're like 1 drop away from going like full switch, then you probably skip the Abso for then. Because if you're able to kill, you're able to train properly and you're able to boss properly, and the Abzo stuff is going to get replaced in the near future. Like, there's no need to upgrade them whatsoever, just for like, except for like vanity, right? Like, you want bigger numbers on there, but
yeah, minimal increase in my DPS, but
yeah, but not an increase in. So you always want to look at an upgrade. Is an upgrade going to give me an increase in kill speed? Like, that's what you want to look at. Not is the DPS going to go up? Because if you can kill a boss, you can kill a boss like a little bit faster. That's going to be pretty much unnoticeable. But if you get access to a whole new set of equips with like a huge amount of gains, that's a way more viable of a way or valuable of a way to upgrade into. So you want to look at like a kill speed increase rather than like a DPS increase. Except when you're, you know, like doing black mage and shit, and then you want to be like, okay, kill speed increase is way more important. Of course,
black mage is just the pipe dream right now. So
yeah, it's maybe a little bit far away. But you know, once you get into like a 17-star full arcane set, you're gonna feel that the set bonus is quite a bit better. The base stats are nutty, and especially if you're not going hard on flames now, but you do go after that, the flame stat increase is gonna be quite crazy too, because you can quite reliably go into like 120, 125, 130 flame scores on there. And if you're comparing that to like having anywhere between like 50 and 90 now, then just from that alone, you're looking at like an easy 300 stat gain with all the percentages of stat you have is going to be crazy amounts.
Okay. Do you think I should get with my Galax coins, you think I should get the ring or the neck first? The ring and replace my Silver Blossom, right?
Yeah, so that could be part of like the whole set disappearing. Those two items really only do anything because their basic stats are like okay, but they don't even carry enough weight to like break any other sets. So they really only come into play if you either have the fodder Star Force and then you transfer over, or if you get the set effect. So basically for both of them. So for the pendant, you would want to transpose in a Dominator, and then for the ring, you want to transfer hammer. You want to transfer hammer in either. Well, you do have access to extra Kana treasure rings now, right? So if you do get some of those, that could save you having to go all the way through the Meister shenanigans. But either Meister or Kana treasure ring would be the thing to transfer hammer into those. So those two items could also be on the list of things that you want to get to 15 during the 30% off.
Okay.
But yeah, until you have like something prepped for both of those options are pretty much similar.
Okay.
So it's fine which one you get, honestly.
Yeah, I guess my pendants are kind of better than my Silver Blossom ring, so I guess I'll probably just end up getting the ring and make that into a damage potential.
Yep. Yeah, you could do that, yeah. Or I mean, yeah, or kind of like similar with Arcane, like until you have the full set, you can also just sit on the resources.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once you have the item, it'll also probably start itching to upgrade it a little bit because it feels weird.
I mean,
and
I just started saving mesos like 2 weeks ago, I think. Other than that, I pretty much just finished my drop gear like 2 weeks ago also. Like my drop in meso gear, so just been spending all the money I get like instantly black cubing.
Yeah, and you can
legendary potential.
It's definitely fine for a certain point because the percentage gains that you can make at a lower level are crazy compared to
oh yeah, I've gained like 3 or 4k stat in like the past 2-3 weeks, so
for sure there's good reason to when you're lower level, but once you get higher level, you just want to go around the events and go hard during the events, because that's where you just make your money worth more. So you're basically increasing your rates for all the cash that you made before the event. You're just giving that more value, and that's why, and just everything is too expensive not to. Honestly, it just becomes a huge problem if you don't. You'll just have to wait like several months or like up to like a year to make like any significant upgrade at a certain point, and that's just not sustainable. Just not mentally, because it doesn't feel like you're moving forward anymore. From
a dopamine standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just not feeling like your time is being spent well, and that will definitely play into
for sure.
Like losing motivation and stuff.
Last time, just wasn't enjoying the game the way I was playing it. So
yeah, but if you have like a clearer plan and you know when those events are coming, and you're like, oh shit, like this one is coming, I'm going to aim for this and this and this. This is realistically possible. This isn't. That'll definitely get you into the the flow of like, oh, this next event, okay, this is happening, and you'll start being more realistic about your expectations for upgrades. As you get further, you're like, okay, there's a very good chance I throw all my money away and get nothing, but that also opens up options, and maybe you're like, okay, I could throw away like 40 bill here and get probably nothing, or I could invest that in my Night Lord, who can now solo CRA, and then he'll be able to like solo Lotus and Damien. And then I can start making that money back on a weekly basis and get to this stage where I can try this again way faster. Maybe I want to do that, you know, and then, yeah, based on your other options, you might start making different decisions.
Also, how many nodes do you think I should invest in my Night Lord?
So for Project CRA, I'm doing 100 now on each character.
Okay.
That seems good. Typically, it gives you like two out of 3 boost nodes that can all that are each like anywhere from like level 7 to 10, depending on how lucky you are. You know, depending on the variance of the boost nodes between the classes, etc. And that so far that seems okay. But some classes might need a little bit more. So like anywhere between 100 and 200. I think the Night Lord got around 100 and is doing. Is doing fine. So I would start there, and then yeah. But the one thing though with the Night Lord is going to be very important is you do want the bind in there. Very, very necessary. Otherwise, you cannot confirm your spread throw damage. So that's either buy the extra slot or calc that into your amounts of boost node usage for sure.
Yeah, I still have to level them to 207 anyway and use those 3 pots, but
Oh yeah,
I'll
true.
do that before compensation ends sometime. I'm in no rush really.
Yeah, you're in no rush, exactly, yeah. I think I just picked them up on my secondary account. And I just got like 3 levels out of them, I think. 4 actually. Because it was very close to 245, so I used like the 2 small ones, leveled me up. And then the second lowest and the third lowest altogether was all 1 level. Yeah, and then a full level from the other ones, and a little bit, and then a full level from the last one. So I got to 248 with 0.4%. So it was pretty perfect, yeah. So now it's almost 250. I think the last time I trained it was like 238, I think, and the rest is all just level up pushes, or 236 or something. I think the last 12 levels have just been slowly. Okay, I digress. We were here for you.
Yeah, I can watch your stream if I want to know about your characters.
Yeah, well, my conta's not on stream, okay? So this is like side information you're getting.
Okay.
When it comes to like potential and everything, because that's basically all flaming and all Star Force, right? So we haven't really looked at potentialing at all. Are you working on the Princess No secondary, or are you just content with using this?
I actually haven't even done the pre-quest for Princess No. I've never touched anything, so I guess I should get started on that, pick up some extra Connor rings while I'm at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the Connor rings, it's just good to do in general. The Princess No secondary isn't like way better or anything, so it's not like a huge fucking damage increase. There's so much other stuff to work on. So
yeah, I don't think I'd want to sync the Mesos to tearing it up anyway.
With
my luck, I'll probably end up spending like 2 bill just to get it to legendary or something.
Yeah, and that could also be spent on just upgrading a bunch of other stuff that's maybe already a legendary. So at a certain point, you might, like if you have the coupons or something, or let's say that you try to re-roll this one and you roll like, I don't know, something ridiculous like 40 IED and 70 boss or something, which would be like, oh shit, this could like be really good, or 1-line attack and 2-line boss or something, and then be like, okay, this is kind of too good to re-roll, but also it's only good for bossing. And then maybe you work into the other one.
The Pinot one into like a 2-line attack or 3-line attack.
Right. And then, but then you'll have it also have so much disposable income that is like not a crazy thing to do, because all your other upgrades are like in the dozens of billions. So it's like, well, you know, even just throwing 2 or 3 at this could make like a significant upgrade. Therefore, you know, ergo vis-a-vis.
I mean, now that I'm farming CLP, also, I already feel like I'm getting way more disposable income. And plus, I'm doing Lomian every week now, CRA, HMAG, all the hard bosses.
Yep.
Like, what, extra 500 mil a week?
Yeah, 500-600, so. Yeah. Are you doing Akechi?
No, I haven't touched that either. How much does that boss soul give?
That's 86 mil.
Oh, it's still good.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick boss fight if you know what you're doing. It's it's easy money, honestly.
I'll look into it then.
Yep.
Is there a pre-quest for that?
Yeah, there's it's a little bit lengthy. It's a lot of just like holding down your spacebar and just kind of like just like zoning out. Yeah, there's a whole story with like the bad guys coming in. It does set up for like some future bosses and stuff, so it's actually kind of interesting. But I basically during the Asura
really
War.
The MapleStory lore too much, but
well, during the Asura War, it already like came up. So the people who kind of like followed it then, it's like just a repeat, like it's just a rerun, right? So that's why I skipped through it this time because I already looked at it during the Asura War. But basically, there's like some baddies who are trying to like kill Princess Sakuno or something. So there's like 3 of them, I think, and then one of them is Oda, like the guy who had like the Oda coins, and then there's another dude. Who like controls them, so we're like, looking forward to. Well, one of them is Princess No, and then one of them is Akechi, and then one of them is Oda, and then the last guy is kind of like a mysterious dude. We don't really know exactly who it is.
Future boss question mark.
Yeah, so maybe Oda's gonna be the new boss, and then him the final one, maybe. So there's like it sets up for like future bossing content, so that's kind of interesting. But that's like the main takeaway from the whole story, basically. A lot of that is just like.
Yeah, I'll be holding down my space.
Yeah, hold it down, yeah. Or your Y key.
Thanks for the spark, the spark notes.
yeah, exactly. Now you know the one thing you could be missing. Now you won't be missing, so you're fine. Yeah, he's like a little bit weird, but 85 mil for a pretty fast boss. People put him like at the level of CPAP, a little bit below, a little bit above, depending on your.
Okay, well, it shouldn't be too difficult then. I'm playing Adele.
Exactly. Yeah, you have some tricks up your sleeve. How do we get into that question? Bosses.
Meso income.
Meso.
Cubing,
upgrading, cost, saving for events.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, star forcing. There we were. Yeah, because cubing kind of falls away from all of that. Most of your stuff is just like 2-line, right?
Yeah. I think everything I have that I'm using for damage is at least 2-line stat.
Yeah, and that's solid. You don't need extra IED as a Adele, so that's a luxury.
No, I mean, with all my familiars and everything, and the Resonant Strike passive or whatever that is, I'm at like 93 fully buffed or something. 93 red. I haven't really calculated it yet, but I'm okay with looking at 93 red as it is. So.
Yep. Yeah, and you have Galax on the way and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It does mean if you go to higher level area and you do get bossing familiars, you can pretty easily switch those in with the IED ones. And then as IED fills... Well, IED will still increase a little bit because you're a Legion, right?
Yeah.
But
I'll
as
get
IED...
that extra row soon enough.
Yep. That's just a little bit away. If you do end up rolling your emblem, because that's probably where you can get the biggest gains now, and you do end up with like IED and attack, that's not the worst. So you could hold that as a placeholder while you work on the other things to maybe get like 2.5 to 3 useful lines there. But it mainly will be just like full on. The long term, like going crazy on arcane, has to be in the back of your mind to not go too hard, and just remember basically like if your kill speed is not increasing, your clear speed is not increasing, then the upgrade can wait basically. As long as you can wait. So it's
that's the main problem.
Yeah, it's a test of it's basically a test of patience, but
I mean, this is the most Meso I've ever saved up since I started playing again. I'm gonna be at 10 mil after this reset with MapleTour, so
MapleTour.
So
yeah, because of the box probably, right? Extra income there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just from training you'll get a lot. You have the Mesoptane Inner. You're doing wealth potions.
I'm buying Legion coupons also now because I've kind of slowed down with the Legion leveling, so I don't really need to save the coins for the upgrade yet if I'm not going to be getting the upgrade yet.
Yep, exactly. Yep, true. Yeah.
Also, any specific suggestions on what to get to 210 first? I do have a Lumi and a BT at 200. And then I already leveled my Mercedes to 210 in the last Bach event with those 3 potions.
Are you planning on hitting 6 and then maybe going a little bit over, but then kind of like taking it easy when it comes to Legion?
Yeah, I mean, my ideal goal is 6.5k, just so I can get those extra characters to fill in that last column with.
Right.
So I don't really, I don't know
Yeah, because
I
the
mean, I have
beauty
been
about
looking at this, but I still really can't make up my mind on what I want to do.
yeah, the beauty of 6K is that you can access all the grid, but
But you don't have enough
but you
characters to
can
fill
no
the grid.
way can you fill any of it. Like you can fill
Exactly.
like a quarter of it, a little bit. Yeah, that's why that 8K is just like so glaringly beautiful.
8K is not gonna happen for me anytime soon.
Nah. Well, I was gonna say, so if 8K is like something that's maybe in the future plans, then I would say Evan is a very high priority. This is very good link skill. But if you're mainly trying to come at it from like a damage point of view for like short term and for like boosting the
I think for now it's a
Adele.
damage point of view. So
I would say
will keep
Arc
that
is
Evan.
very high up. Can
well,
also
Arc I already have at 210 since I
Oh,
played
yeah.
him.
oh yeah true yeah, and that well and I would say that there's added value there as well for a
For the strength,
yeah, and that and for a bossing mule as well pretty easily.
It's true. I didn't even think about that. I don't even know if I could do CRA on that guy.
Have you tried the Eternally Hungry Beast?
I haven't even gotten it yet.
Oh god, it's so strong.
It looks really cool.
It's so much damage. Like it basically at level 1.
I was watching your bosses earlier. You're just so many lines, just top of the screen with lines.
Yeah, just chunks. Yeah, on level 1, it does like the same damage as a fully boost noted Creeping Terror, but you use Creeping Terror like 4 times the amount or something.
Yeah.
So it does like the same damage as that when that one is like plus 120% final damage and reduced cooldowns. So if you max the beast out, it just chunks like crazy.
Okay.
And it's a 2-minute cooldown, so you can use it on all of your burst rotations. The only downside is, of course, that it can miss if the boss teleports out or something. So you do want to like bind it in.
Yeah, well, a good thing Arc has a bind.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful now when I do like C-Vel, I just like bind, put the beast under him, like trigger the attack, and then just walk away, and then you just like.
Well, I mean, with your strength, it doesn't even matter
Yeah.
anyway. But
well, the one thing
I
is
can
though.
see the idea you're getting at.
I probably overkill it. I probably do like double the damage.
For sure.
The
But what you were saying with the bind, it doesn't really show the damage until the bind's done, right?
Yeah, just immediately, just the HP where it just like vanishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beast though, it's supposed to. Well, the description reads like if you attack the boss with skills, it speeds up the summon. But actually, if you don't use any skills, it just never summons. It just fizzles and just doesn't do anything. So you have to make sure that you hit enough, though. Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes it shows up but then doesn't hit. Yeah, it's weird stuff. And sometimes it hits, and then
I probably won't be able to one bind Vellum or anything. So.
No, but I think you'll get pretty close to that. Like if you, yeah,
I don't know how much stat I'm at on my Arc. I think I'm maybe like 12k or something. I'm definitely above 10k, so it's doable for sure.
Definitely doable, yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
solid
actually should
fit
look into that.
The other ones would probably be you did have Lumi and Beast Tamer.
Yeah, at level 200.
Probably the demons then, Slayer and Avenger.
Demons, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because the Avenger you probably don't have at 200 yet, right?
No,
because it also 140. Yeah, because he also gains boss damage from the Legion buff, so that makes it a little bit better as well, like the combination. The Slayer.
Is there a bonk coming in Neo patch?
In the anniversary event, apparently there's like up to 3 bonks a day or something. I heard.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe I'll wait until that's live and.
Yeah, if that can get you some 200s, and then just pop it into 5th job, will probably kick some of those classes into overdrive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
going basically Super Saiyan once you get that job advancement.
So yeah, that's some
who else? Yeah, Arc.
Semi-long-term goals to think about.
Those are like the biggest. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, with Phantom and stuff. Like, there's a bunch of links that are good to like build out your complete Legion to 8k. But if you're not planning on that, then that's just kind of like sidetracking, not very useful.
Yeah, not in the near future at all, really. I'm just really looking for damage gains mostly.
Yeah. No, those are probably maybe the fuck, what are they called? Angelic Buster, maybe.
I don't even have one made, actually. I was about to ask you that after. Is that still being used by people? Angelic Buster link? I did see that you were using it in your bosses today, but
yeah, buff duration and like skill reduction and stuff works on it, and it's a pretty short. And you can like as a Adele, if you have it level 3, you can synchronize it with Rune and use it every time with Rune.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it's just pretty big. I think at level 3 it's like 60% extra damage or something just for that skill. So that's pretty cool.
I'm surprised they haven't nerfed Rune yet.
Don't say that too loud.
I mean, I guess.
Well, did you see when the Adele came out in Tespia? I think all the skills were just all on a 2-minute cooldown, so they were all like perfect rotation. And I was like, oh my god, are they really gonna do this? You could just like pop everything every 2 minutes, and I was like, no, wait, we're gonna do 160, 120, and 180. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Now it's all over the place. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it makes it easier for farming, I guess.
Yeah, it gives you better rotations for farming, but then for bossing, I mean, it makes it better eyes. I think like for stuff like for your DPM in general, though, because you learn to not rely it all on one time. So like if you're like Dream Defender climbing for Adele is like a dream because you always have something up.
Yeah.
And then when nothing is up,
I could probably get to 80 right now, but I'm just sitting at 70.
Yeah, my Adele cleared 90 now, but the fake arcane is like really strong.
Oh, okay, yeah. Carrying.
It's like 460 attack or some crazy stuff. Yeah.
Those are boss monsters, right?
Yeah, and they're boss. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, I guess just one day when I'm doing my boss runs next week, I'll try to go back in there and.
Yeah, if you have 3k points and pop some guild skills
I've
and some.
3K.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes
sometimes
you sit on them for a while. You're like, I just don't feel like pushing this,
I'll
dude.
just pop a bell up to. Actually, I could probably get to 80 without the bells, and just try and get to 90 with the bells.
I was at 70 before the weapon. I was like, I'll see if I can get to 80, and then I got to 80 without using any bells, or like 1 or 2, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe I could just keep going because this character is just like really strong.
Yeah, whenever I'm doing my daily, I don't even use any skills. I just use bloom and then go to the next map.
Yeah, I go like full guild skills, monster park potions.
I mean, if I'm pushing, then I definitely will. And then if I do get to 90, I probably won't even be able to clear the daily without even.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I synchronize.
Again, another good problem to have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps you just push because Lacaline isn't that fast. Like you already caught up with Lacaline, right? With the other two, because of the free symbols. They're all at 12. Yeah. Well, they'll supersede it now, but every time there's an event, you're going to be pushing those in Asphera and Morass to kind of like keep up with them.
Oh yeah.
So they'll probably max at around the same time. Probably Lacaline a little bit earlier.
Yeah, but I'm getting 8 from Lacaline right now, so they're all getting the same daily, but like you said, all the events and arcane symbol selectors they're going towards Morass and Asphera, so.
You're getting 8?
Yeah.
Wait, are you not doing the kill quests?
Oh no, I meant from just Dream Defender.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I do all my arcane dailies every day.
Yeah, sure.
The only days I miss is when I'm not at my computer.
Yeah, well, sometimes if people haven't played in a while, they just don't know that there's a second set of dailies because it's not really in your face. People are like, "Wait, what are you doing? What is Urda Spectrum? Wait, there's a kill quest in Lacaline? What?"
I always just go backwards down the river and I just check the Spiegelman NPC once I'm in Vanishing Journey.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure I hit everything. So.
Double check. Yeah. That's probably a good thing. I always forget what that NPC is, so I'll forget some days. The one thing I forget the most is I'll do Spirit Savior, and I do like a 15k run, and then I forget to do like the second one for autocomplete. And then I'll talk to the NPC, and it's like, hey, do you want 15 symbols? It's like, oh god, I forgot to autocomplete yesterday. And then you just lose 5 symbols just because you don't click an NPC twice. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But, in the long run, I do it pretty much every day, so it's whatever.
Yeah, and then same thing with Monster Park. I've been doing that ever since I stopped doing Legion and stuff, because I was doing a little bit of Monster Park on some of the characters to speed it up, but
I think
I'm about like maybe a month off, month and a week or something. I don't know, most of them are at like 30, almost 40 runs. So,
you mean for the Adele to get the Monster Parker, right?
Yeah, the Monster Park medal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good to work on those IED sources for the future. But yeah, you got that coming, you got Golux coming, you got the bigger Legion coming. You'll be fine. Yeah, the main thing behind the scene, we kind of skipped over a little bit, but I assume that you're like on top of it. It's like with the crit rate, right? Is if you get some other sources, the inner-ability is going to be something, but if you end up with like a soul with crit rate or something, then you can redo a bunch of stuff. And
yeah, I had no luck with that past the mag event. I got like 4 of them, and they were all bad. So
yeah, I didn't get much either, but it was mainly because the past event before that was pretty recent.
yeah,
and I kind of stopped doing my dailies as well.
You got super lucky.
Yeah,
on
and that one was super lucky too. So I wasn't expecting anything, and I didn't get
Yeah.
anything. So I was like, this is just well deserved. This should have been a shitty
I got like
event.
3 max HPs, and then I don't remember what the last one was, but nothing good for sure.
No.
I think it was a % magic attack actually. So.
Oh yeah, that's
Feels
even
bad.
worse. You'd rather have HP than percentage magic attack. That feels
For sure.
because you're like so close yet so far away.
Yeah, but then I just put on a random potent one I had back. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I was hoping I would get a crit. I would just keep that instead of killing myself looking for the inner ability. But
Yeah, I think crit is the second best, honestly. I think it's like attack or magic attack, and then second best is crit, in my opinion. Because with your Legion
instead
board,
of the
you
boss
could.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, you can. 1 crit equals 1 boss damage in the grid, but boss gives you 7 and crit gives you 12. So I mean, that's almost double. That's almost double.
For
so I'm
sure,
like,
yeah,
fuck, I'd
definitely
rather have
worth
that
it.
one.
Yeah, and I'm sure I can make it work with hyper stats, and if I ever finish leveling my BT to 210.
Exactly. You have so much flexible stuff going on that you can plan around it as well. That it's not like
Yeah.
a punishment or something to not get it. You know.
Yeah, I'm also resetting hyper stats whenever I boss every week, so it's not
Cool,
like
cool.
a huge deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I hope you get a good flame on the Dom, and that
Oh,
the
yeah. I hope
compensation
so,
gives you a
too.
bit more honor experience than you saw, so that you can get closer to closer to
I mean, I'll
reroll
just start
capability.
saving,
Yeah.
and once I see a 50% on the horizon, I'll buy some circulators maybe.
It's like all gambling. Just set a budget and then work within the budget. If you get it earlier, that's cool. If you don't get it, move on to the next thing. You know, like no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
The worst part is when you go over, you're like, oh, just a little bit more, and then you
That's
end up.
what I was doing last
Yeah,
time.
and then if you don't get it, you
And
you
then I
both
went
feel
broke.
unlucky and you feel bad about like, why do I have no self control?
Yep.
And then you hit yourself with the double whammy, and you don't want to put the game into a situation where it can make you feel bad about the decisions you make in it. You want to have like the final say, and it's better to give yourself an allowance. That way you can make it so that you are at least a little bit, or at least feels like you're a little bit in control, rather than the game deciding how much you throw at things.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Were there any questions you had that we didn't get around to?
I think that was about it. Mainly it was just about what to focus on for gear progression.
I think that's all clear now. No
Yeah,
questions.
pretty much
there?
all clear.
Well, pretty much all clear. Is there something we could say?
No, I mean it is all clear. You know,
Okay, yeah.
next Sunday I'm gonna be getting everything to 15, prepping some transfer hammer gears, and then waiting for 5, 10, 15 to tap away.
Yep. And yeah, depending on how much money you have, how lucky you get. I think some 18s for Abzo will like book closed on those, and you can focus on everything else.
Yeah.
That might be a good feel to if you can hit the 18 on the Abzos, because then you can purely focus on fodder gear and just like a long term, just back up, wait for 5 to 15, go super hard.
Yep.
Which will probably be another like 12 to 18 weeks after that, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I have been doing my Dark World Tree and Haven dailies on my arc as well, so definitely will be able to get enough fodder as long as I keep running Lomian every week.
Yep. And if you get lucky, that means you can have easier access to Abzo and other characters.
Yeah.
So you can propel those progresses if you want to.
For sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that covers everything.
Yeah, you have the final say. You're the customer.
Yeah, no, I can't really think of anything. So
okay, that's fine. If you do think of anything, like just hit me up on Discord or just ask away in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to you.
For sure. Will, thanks a bunch.
Yep, no problem, and best of luck on everything.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your stream, bud.
Thank you very much. See ya.
Bye.
All right, I think we got over most of the stuff. This guy has had his stuff very well figured out. Very good baseline understanding of pretty much everything in the game, so not too much detail to go into there. Mainly just the general progression path of everything, kind of aligning everything and prioritizing where to throw your money at. Because you do start noticing once you get to this part of the game, upgrades get expensive. So you want to cycle around events, you want to organize which items you have more backups of, those you can take more risk on, lower backups, lower risk, build up resources for backups in the long term, and get to items once you have enough backups for them, once you're willing to take the risks. Could have just said that. We would have been done in a minute. No, just kidding. But yeah, one big takeaway, this guy got a motherfucking unique Papulatus familiar drop. I did not know this was possible. But you know, see, every single one of these progressions, I learned something new about the game as well. I had no idea this was in there. But at least we can, we could take some solace in the fact that he got shit lines on him. No, I'm just kidding. I would wish good lines on him, because if I can have it, I would hope that someone else at least gets them. But yeah, this was informational and fun for you to listen to. I'm very glad. If you want one of these sessions, or you want to join our NA or EU Scardor guild, or you have data for me in terms of monster kills per hour, videos of you training anywhere in Tenebris, or what's the last one? Or battle analyses, please, for all of these things, check the description of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.